Thank you. Carried. Brilliant. Now we come to the highlight of the day. Mayor's report, which I'll take as read. There's a couple of things in there that I think are important. The Buskers Festival was an absolutely outstanding event. It was in every direction. It was great. The weather was good. Everyone's happy. We've got Electric Ave on this weekend, but also we must never forget we've got the Earthquake Memorial Day on the weekend as well. So please don't forget that. The other thing I did, you'll see on the third page, I went up to Wellington and met the new Minister of the South Island, and also went to Te Mata Arawai to their office and had a yarn to them. Now, one of the interesting things I found there is you will have heard that Queenstown got in a bit of strife because it had protozoa in their water. They have tested all of the wells that Te Mata Arawai have tested here. They haven't come up with any. Not saying we might still be testing a few more, but at the moment there is no sign of it in Christchurch's water, which is very good to hear. And we also went to Lower Hutt's Seaview Water Treatment Plant to have a look at their sludge. And if we think we've got they're nice guys and they're looking after us real good, but if we think we've got problems at our wastewater plant, they are running on a knife edge on, aren't they, Brent? Poor buggers. They haven't really had any money spent on it at all since 1985. So they're doing a fantastic job up there. So, yeah, any questions? Now, did you have a...
I had a question about Island School. Got a question about Island School, how'd it go?
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, it was great. They're lovely. We've got to do more of that stuff because they're so focused on what they want. So yeah, it's the least.
I was just interested in terms of what you had a chat to about, in terms of the Minister for the South Island, in terms of what topics might have been covered.
Oh, the poor guy. He'd been in the job for about half an hour when I rolled in because I was up in Wellington anyway. I said, "What are you up to?" So we just sat down for probably only 15 minutes and he was tied up. But I said, he is there to make stuff happen for the South Island, and I've been lucky enough to be. I'm sure he'll come to see us, but at the Canterbury Mayoral Forum, he came and spoke to us there for half an hour, and he's switched on. I think we're going to do well.
Did the Pages Road Bridge come up at all in terms of the discussion? Transport funding generally for the South Island?
No, just in general. Well, of course, the other thing that he's very happy about is the funding for Brown Street as well, so Pages Road Bridge and that as well. So. But he wants to do more in South Island. He talked mainly about the Ashburton Bridge and what's happening down there because it's not in their area, but they're wanting to spend money in the South Island. So he's the man. That was a good guy to have a relationship with. That's great. Pauline,
the Chinese international students. That's an interesting one. So they've gone to university. And they're going to develop a smart city solution that enhances our city's livability and supports our community outcomes. How will we know what they come up with? How will we know what those students come up with about our smart cities and increasing the Chinese students that have gone to university?
I don't know how. That's right, because they're doing a project, aren't they?
Yeah. So that's interesting. Why aren't our own students doing projects on that, or are they?
I know that they're so enthusiastic. They've all come over here. I spoke to them all, and then obviously we went outside and got a photo. But they're doing a project on how they can incorporate smart city stuff, and we've got Simon working.
Into their own country.
No, and here.
But they're going to make recommendations.
The ideas that they've got at their place over here.
So could I, this is left field and I don't know how practical it would be, but when they finish that piece of work, could they bring it here and
good idea. Yeah.
Talk to us about it? Mary, would that be okay?
Yep. Matt's all over it down the back.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. Excellent.
Thanks.
Thank you. And we've got something from Tyler that I'm more than happy to include in here. Is that all right?
So can we just check with David and Elizabeth just to check what capacity we've got to deliver on that?
So in terms of doing a submission, I think we would say, no, we don't have capacity to do a submission. Couple of things to note. One is it's a discussion document at the moment. We don't have the draft legislation, so waiting to see exactly what the legislation would be proposing. If you want to do a short letter with a message like that, then, and that's what the council would like to do, then yes, of course, we can help with a short message, a short letter, but not a submission on the Act. We don't have capacity or the subject matter
But have we
expertise.
not got capacity? It's pretty important.
Because they've been writing local water done well reports and everything
development
else.
contributions and local alcohol policy.
And
And I'd also
Use a consultant.
So
I'd
they-
also question our knowledge of this area in terms of arms reform. I'm not sure we would have the expertise to but as Elizabeth says, we haven't actually got the bill yet, so we don't know what's going to be in it. But if the message at this point is a simple, clear message, we could do a letter saying that, and have as input at this point of the process, and then see what comes in terms of the bill and what the bill actually says, and then reassess it from there.
You're saying some form of response, but it may not be a full and detailed submission of the same standard that we usually do.
Siri,
Yeah, doing it in broadness would probably be more beneficial in regards to the wider community view of obviously the listing of reforms. However, I'm happy with a more broad submission, and I feel like it needs to be a submission on the basis of it being in public and it being recorded instead of a letter that's sent to the government. There were some really good recommendations within the letter that the Mayor sent in regards to inviting them down to Christchurch to be a part of the select
right.
committee,
Yep.
etc. I think that would be great, but if we could actually be able to circulate that publicly, it'll probably be more beneficial, just to let the city know that, you know, we've got the Muslim community's backs, we've got everyone's backs, and we want to see safer gun reform within the.
Yep. Well, we could do that if that was the will of council. We could certainly do that. But just got to understand where we're at in the process.
And just to clarify, it will mean that if you want that last sentence, we are following councillor feedback, you're probably only going to get 24 hours. So you'll have, so it won't be, you'll be, by the time you review the document, draft something, get it out to councillors will have a very limited time to provide feedback before it's signed off and gone
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, we don't have a lot
Okay,
of capacity
so,
to
Sarah?
review the
And then
document.
I think that,
No.
I mean, I know that from a staff perspective, you know, the actual arms stuff and firearms legislation isn't something that council deals with particularly.
Yeah.
However, something that council does deal with all the time is community wellbeing. And that's at the core of this rather than the technical stuff around arms and arms legislation. And so I think that they, like, for example, the community governance staff who work with our Muslim community, all of those kind of things, they actually have a really good hold on the impact of this type of thing on the community well-being. And I think that just a very brief submission that is, you know, even half a page expressing the view and including the points that the Mayor's letter had about, you know, listening to Muslim voices and having panel down here. I think that would be, I think, enough as a starter until we saw the legislation.
Yeah. Well, we can draft something
Yeah.
straight, short and straightforward,
Yeah.
and circulate that for feedback, and then
Yeah.
it's all neat.
put that in. But
That's it. Yeah. Thanks.
And I think lastly, Victoria, I think.
Can I just get some clarity, please? That amendment is saying council submits on the reforms, but I thought I heard you say that you're not going to do a submission, you're going to do a letter.
Well-
Anything's classed as a submission.
yeah, exactly.
Whether
Yeah.
it's a letter, whether we're just saying it's not going to be of the size and quality because of the short time. It will still be a submission. It will still go in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the
Sorry.
next question is, you've said that the new legislation, the draft legislation isn't out yet, so are they calling for submissions at the moment?
They're calling
Yeah.
for early input into the process, so that they've started doing this. So it's input into drafting the bill.
Got it, thank you.
Judy, okay. So I'll put motion of my. Everyone's happy with it. I'm more than happy with that to go, and I'm happy to move it. And Pauline's happy to second it. All those in favour? Against, thank you. That's carried. And Karakia time.